All right, I just want to point out, all right, for all you bears, I want to give you guys something, some dessert to chew on.
Hey guys, Krisha here. Please be cautious of any fake comments and emails you may receive from people pretending to be Mango Research. Sean and I will never, ever contact you for investment opportunities or anything of that sort. To get in touch with the real Mango team, make sure to join our official Discord chat using the link in the description below. Stay safe out there, and remember, do it Mango. And hello everybody, welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Bitcoin and Matic analysis video. I have Sean with me today. Sean, say hi.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great start to the morning. Bitcoin definitely looking very interesting here, Krisha.
Indeed. Interesting indeed. However, on today's agenda, guys, we'll first be starting off, well, with Bitcoin, and then we'll be moving on over to Matic. And why is that? Because Matic appears to have won the vote yesterday. I'd asked you guys to, well, mention, well, the coin that you want us to cover in the comments section. And, well, AJ Smalls came in with Link, 1inch and Matic. Ted Sheets, also Matic and Filecoin, I believe. And CryptoGate came in with VeChain and Telecoin. Now, Matic seems to have won the majority there, so Matic it is. If you want us to cover, well, any altcoin, mention it in the comments section below. Now, Sean, I'm currently on Bitcoin's chart on that daily time frame, and this is looking bloody interesting. So let's do this. Why don't you give us your thoughts on Bitcoin, and then I'll, well, give the audience my thoughts.
All right, so I woke up this morning, all right, waiting for the daily candle to close. It was around 10 minutes left. Watched the daily candle close. Told myself, now that is an ugly daily close. And it's actually the first thing I said, even on the Mango Discord group. By the way, if you guys haven't joined the Mango Discord yet, go ahead and join. Things are getting really interesting now. And if you guys are looking to learn to be traders, this is the time to be having a community of traders around you. So join our Discord at themangoway.com/discord. themangoway.com/discord. But yeah, we got the daily close, Krisha, right underneath, well underneath that 34,549 horizontal line that I was looking at, right? That was a key horizontal for me, Krisha, and we closed underneath it. I'm looking at like an M-like formation. I know a lot of people are looking at this as a symmetrical triangle, but whichever way you cut it now, this daily candle close, having that candle closure underneath 34,500 is a very bad sign. But more importantly, we've done this on the 2-day as well, so it's not looking good. It's not looking good, and I'd be looking for bearish continuation on the mid time frames at the very least, pointing towards numbers that people may not like, that we will talk about towards in a couple of minutes. But I want to hear your thoughts first.
Okay, so I agree with you. This is a weak picture, and guys, primarily because now this is something I've been talking about: structure. Right, we have broken that uptrend that we had been maintaining now ever since the Elon dump that happened on May 19th. I like how now it's just like a regular thing, Elon dump. Is that the term now? We've coined it, Elon dump. But no, we've lost that structure. We had been maintaining the series of higher lows and no more. Okay. Now, Sean, the region that I was looking at as support, I wanted price to hold this, was at 34.3K. So very close to what you had there. But I noticed that on, well, today's daily candle, as soon as we started, we tried to get up there to give that region an official test. However, I believe we got front run and we're seeing a continuation to the downside. I'm seeing that this goes down further. The first region I got on my chart comes in at 29.9K. What about you? Any targets to the downside?
I'm looking at, so the low, Krisha, on Coinbase, I believe, is around 29,000. Actually, damn, it's on the dot of 30,000 to the dot, right? So I'm eyeing that low around there, and what I'd be looking for, Krisha, is for a move to come and wick underneath that low. Then I'd be eyeing what happens over there, right? What happens after that, once we tap into that naive liquidity, as I like to call it, is going to be very, very important. Do we see follow through, or do we see a bounce towards the upside? Now, for those of you who are on the C program, this is where you guys revisit your institutional order flow module, because we're going to see a lot of clues and a lot of information been it's going to be handed off to us on a freaking silver platter. So how Bitcoin, the probability of Bitcoin either bouncing or seeing further continuation underneath 30,000 is going to be revealed to us very, very soon. Now, I know some of you guys are already in really, really good short positions. Actually, there was someone who took a massive short position using the Mango Dynamic from around 39,000.
Wow.
Now, Andrew as well put on a short position. I believe he's been using the Mango Vine and Dynamic in conjunction like a freaking champ just this morning. So he's sitting pretty as well. So those of you who are already in positions, you guys are sitting pretty, which is great. But those of you who aren't in positions, this is not the time to be chasing a position. This is the time to be waiting for more information to get ready for your next position, right? And we will know very, very soon what Bitcoin is more likely to do. So it's a waiting game now, Krisha. Again, I agree with you. It's more likely to see further downside around here, but surprises may happen.
All right, so that's basically two scenarios. Further downside and surprises may happen. Surprises being, a possible bounce at your 30K region, right? That wick low. Now, I just by looking at the measured move of the symmetrical triangle, Sean, if I just mark it on the break, the measured move just on the symmetrical triangle, if this actually plays out, comes in at 23.3K.
Okay.
And but Sean's level, guys, of 30K is very important. Okay, that is a historic region of support. And we've tested that. You can see that price actually had a crazy bounce on that dump of May 19th. And that is going to be a very, very key level. And I agree with you there, Sean. I think if we start finding support there, we might very well see a bounce play at the very least.
To be honest, Kusha, we could see a bounce over here too, because remember, at the end of the day, the macro time frames do have support sitting around here. Now, we will talk about that in a later video. Probably in tomorrow's video, we'll cover the monthly and the weekly time frames. So, guys, stay tuned for that. And there's something really interesting going on the monthly and the weekly time frames around this region.
Mm-hmm.
So, for now, though, we are talking to the traders who are looking at the midterm moves to the short-term moves, right? Those trades are leaning towards the downside because the daily trend is down, the 12-hour trend is down. And if those cascade on over to your higher time frames and break the higher time frame support, well, then we're going to be looking towards Krisha's level of 23,000. After that, you guys don't want to hear the numbers on this potential bull flag breakdown, unless Krisha, do you want to give that measured move to them?
No, I think it's a pretty significant measured move, but I feel like we take this on an if this then that basis. If we start breaking these regions of support, which are very important, guys, when measured moves play out, it's not necessary that they play out in one straight line. Okay, in fact, very seldom do they play out in one straight line. We usually see price actually meet with support before, price breaks that region of support and then sees continuation to the downside. So I think let's leave them with these targets for the time being. For me personally, Sean, I actually think that we're going to see, I'm leaning towards continuation to the downside, at the very least, that 30K region that you mentioned. It's only if we start breaking that will I see 23.3K. But this is the bearish side of things. Now, there was the other side, right? That price may bounce here. Is there anything that's tipping you off on a potential bounce in this region?
So I do want to preface this with everything's looking really, really ugly over here. And when we are looking for a bounce over here, we still need to see a lot more clues develop, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, there are some signs that the bulls can hold on to look for that potential bounce. And what I like to look for is essentially momentum falling on over to higher time frame support. We do have higher time frame support on the weekly, combined with something really interesting happening on the daily. Now, I've been eyeing a potential bullish divergence that flipped into bearish divergence on the daily time frame. If you look at your Mango Mother, Krisha, on your oscillators, right? You'll see the bullish divergence flipped into bearish divergence. We talked about that on the live stream and wasn't looking good. In fact, that rejection, right, lined up. I'm not sure whether you have a dynamic, but you really don't need it. It lined up exactly smack up against the dynamic to put in that bearish divergence confirmation, break towards the downside. And now, interestingly enough, this bearish divergence might be flipping back into bullish divergence, right? For potential quadruple bullish divergence play showing up very, very soon, because we do have, well, lower lows on price, but higher lows. Again, this most current price action is not complete just yet. If the RSI gets any more clobbered, right, well, that bullish divergence scenario is going to be completely negated. But
Yeah.
at its current juncture, there is a play over here where we see weekly support step in and flip the daily RSI into a bullish divergence scenario. Now, so far, everything is going according to the, I won't say plan, but we did forecast, because if you look at your stochastics crossing towards the downside, this is something that we looked at again a couple of videos ago, and we said, hey, this is not looking really good over here on the stochastics. We're seeing resistance at the 50 level zone over here that is more bearish than it is bullish. It's showing a rejection of the bullish zone, of stocks entering the bullish zone. Now, however, if we do come in, reset, cross bullish again with the RSI flipping into a bullish divergence posture, well, we have weekly support underneath us, stochastics flipping bullish, perhaps breaking the 50 zone into the bullish zone, and then RSI seeing continuation. Well, that would be the bullish scenario that the Bitcoin bulls would be looking for, to see that reversal of this trend, because at the moment the trend is looking pretty strong for the bears. And Krisha, I do want to end that with, I will not look for confirmation on that or be convinced until we see the first level of 37,000 be taken back by the bulls, and then confirmation above 39,000.
Yes,
So,
I am in line with that that analysis. 39, I feel like that 39.5k is going to be so critical. If the bulls manage to take that back, I'm saying get ready, buckle in for an even bigger bounce to the upside. But so far, I think that the bears have the edge here, guys. The bears are winning this game. Now, Sean, is there any other time frame that you want to go over on Bitcoin's chart before we move on over to Matic?
All right, I just want to point out, all right, for all you bears, I want to give you guys something, some dessert to chew on. There is a massive bear flag. There's a massive bear flag forming on the daily as well as the 2-day, which is why I think it's pretty relevant to look at this. If you draw on the measured move using the pole, Kisha, this measured move is pointing down to $14,000, and it's not something that you should just blindly ignore as a impossibility. Everything is possible.
Yes.
Remember that we are not oracles, and you have to account for every situation. Now, it's not going to go down in a straight line, right? Unless we see some major crisis event yet again. But keep in mind that Bitcoin may go down for longer than you guys can expect, which is why we use technical analysis and trend trading to risk mitigate against those scenarios.
I agree. Yeah, that measure move is going to be pretty significant, but it's on the books. Yeah. Let's put it that way. It's on the books. Just keep your eyes peeled on all possible scenarios, and we're giving you these horizontals so that you guys can also take note, because these are the horizontals that we're looking at for our if this then that statements. All right, thanks for the juice, Sean. Now let's get on over to Matic. Cool beans. So I'll be covering Matic USDT today. We will be covering Matic USDT today. Sean had some interesting views. I think we were on opposite sides of this trade, Sean. Yes, as far as the analysis is concerned. I was looking at the weekly the last time we spoke about Matic, guys, and I told you guys that, it was looking good. Why? Because, well, we had taken out the weekly highs right there, right? The close highs. And it was this candle here on 24th of May. Now, I want you to notice what happened in this last week. We lost that level that we took out that came in at $1.73. Okay, and it appears that price is now seeing continuation to the downside. And I don't know about you, Sean, I'm saying we're getting into a volatile region right now. The support that I have on this chart honestly comes in at going from $1.08 all the way down to this region right here, which comes in at 97 cents. So what are your thoughts on this?
So one of the things that I found really interesting and also concerning about Matic was that weekly close. So while I completely understand why you thought that weekly close was a great close, by all, if you use just your pure technical analysis, which you should be using regardless, right? The fundamentals would say, hey, we closed above that weekly level, and that's a good close, right? But from my experience trading, if you use your multi-time frame analysis, right? If you look at the holistic picture and you switch on over to the daily time frame, you're going to see that the daily, Krisha, rejected after a V bottom up, right? It rejected a major level at around $2.42. So yes, the weekly closed good, but the daily was telling us something else. The daily was telling me, hey, wait a minute, be a little bit careful over here, because this may actually turn into a liquidity hunt, a liquidity grab, where you close about a major weekly level, drawing in the bulls, the eager bulls who are playing those weekly closes, and then just selling into them. The reason I was concerned about this and I was aware of this move was because I've been victim to that move, right? We see the great weekly close after the daily has a V bottom recovery, only for it to be sold into and you lose the weekly level. And over a couple of live streams, I've been warning against that move playing out rather, and that's exactly what ended up happening, right? That weekly close ended up being just a liquidity hunt,
Yeah.
right? While the daily ended up being the dead cat bounce. Now everyone was talking about a dead cat bounce on Bitcoin, but I was watching for the real dead cat bounce to play out on Matic, because this is classical, right? This is a classic dead cat bounce, in my opinion, where you bounce really high, closing a really nice week, but only for the daily to reject a major level and get sold into, putting in a lower high. Now, however, Matic may get interesting, but it really depends on what Bitcoin wants to do. Because if you switch on over to your high time frames, Matic, I believe, is sitting on support. Well, I believe it's Ichimoku support on the weekly time frame. Yes, it is. It is. Tenkin and Kijun support on the weekly time frame. Now, again, it really depends on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin breaks down over here and Bitcoin isn't looking the best right now, I believe Matic is going to lose its levels as well.
Yeah, I agree. And that also brings me to the point that I wanted you guys to know and understand, internalize this, is that, yes, we're seeing a couple of outliers like Matic and Cardano and Ethereum as well that did not lose its weekly structure. But as soon as Bitcoin starts showing additional technical weakness wherein the bears are taking over, I'm saying that many of these outliers are going to start converging into the market leader. Okay, so keep a holistic view on what's going on in the market. And Sean, by the way, great analysis on Matic. You totally won out there. I have a question for you, and maybe hopefully this helps everyone else. So when you use your multi-time frame analysis, now I saw a break on the weekly time frame. However, you're right, on the daily time frame, however, that was not a break. If you look at where we wicked out, right, we wicked at $2.43, failing to take out the previous highs. Now, in those instances, would you look for price to be taking out those highs before you flip bullish?
So exactly. So what was my concern really on that weekly close? That the daily time frame actually rejected a major daily level, right? So all I needed to wait for now was, hey, okay, we had a great weekly close. Now, while this week actually, as we go through this week, all I need to wait for is a daily close above the daily candle close highs. So let's say we closed on Monday, or rather we closed on Sunday, we opened on Monday, but the daily open on Monday was not convincing enough for me, right? Well, I just wait for Tuesday. Does Tuesday close above $2.45?
Okay.
If Tuesday closes about $2.45, now I have a new weekly close as well as a new daily close. That gives me confidence. And that's what you're really looking for, right? And that's what you're paying for sometimes. You're willing to pay for confirmation. And if I were to get into the Matic trade, I would have been waiting for that close about $2.45. Yes, I'd be paying a little bit more, but I'd be getting that confirmation for the trade for further upside, as opposed to getting in a tad bit earlier that on a trade I'm not too comfortable with, and then getting sold into, like a lot of traders had to deal with.
Okay, that's good. Take notes, guys, for those of you looking to learn here. Now, I think that the bears are in control on Matic USDT as well. We've lost the daily structure. If we actually start bouncing here, then there could be a potential falling channel play. Okay,
Yes.
so keep your
I'm
eyes
looking at
peeled
that
on
too.
that as well. However, if we start breaking this yellow line segment that I drew out for you, and this, by the way, guys, is the level that Sean brought up for you on the weekly time frame. Remember, the thing with horizontals, you're going to see those cascading effects on over to the lower time frames. This region right here at $1.36 is the weekly Tenkin and Kijun. Okay, if we start breaking this, and I'm saying things are going to get extremely volatile, the next region is only going to come in at $1.08. So buckle in and hell, risk manage. Risk manage all the time, okay? And especially when volatility picks up, because this move is going to be a good 20% to the downside.
I have some dessert for the bulls to chew on over here. If you turn on your Ichimoku, Krisha, and you pull up or just draw on a horizontal at the bottom of the cloud, right on the flat line of the cloud, coming in at around $1.36, which, by the way, does line up with where price is sitting at currently, right? Price is finding support on that Ichimoku that got drawn in a while ago. So this is what the bulls can look for. Now, it's a long shot, but if we start seeing price even go sideways around here, well, what I'll be looking for now is essentially a falling channel on weekly as well as daily support, right? So if price goes sideways, we're going to see essentially a potential reversal on the daily trend, which is currently towards the downside on Matic as well. So if we see that bounce, I'd be looking for a measured move to around $2.10, eventually to perhaps even $2.50.
Yeah, I think yeah, $2.10 is what I'm looking at. I agree there. But remember, guys, if this and that, look for how price reacts off of this level. My personal opinion, I'm leaning bearish. I think we've entered a volatile zone here. Now, yeah, this is all I have. Our analysis on Matic USDT. Now, if there's any coin that you want us to cover in, well, tomorrow's video, make sure to mention it in the comments section, and we will pick the most requested one from the list. Sean, any final thoughts?
Nope. Until our next video, guys, do it the mango way, do the stress-free way, do the easy way. And remember, there's always opportunity in the market. Do not chase trades.
Beautiful. Ciao, you guys.